Hi guys, thank you for joining me today for this Strength and Grace Pilates class. Today we will be using the trusty magic circle. So good for making things a little bit more intense through the muscles, but also such a good tool for stretching as well. Let's start off with some breathing. So coming into a comfortable position, you can sit bottom on heels. Cross-legged is fine if that's not comfortable for you. Squeezing through the waist, lengthening through the spine. And let's just take some really big rolls of those shoulders. Steadying our breath, focusing on that inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Let's reverse that circle. Big rolls here. And release. Let's take the bottom over to one side of our heels. Big reach over. If you are cross-legged, just reaching over across one knee. Stretching through the waist. See if you can take it 1 inch further. And let's come over to the other side. Big reach over, stretching through that waist. Exhaling into that pose. And release. Beautiful. Let's grab our circle. We're going to lie down on our back, finding our neutral spine position. So neutral spine, nice and even through the hips, little gap, just natural gap between our lumbar spine and the mat, and our tailbone is nice and heavy. Relaxing down through the neck, through the shoulders, and let's reach our circle straight up towards the ceiling. Driving those shoulder blades into the mat, opening through the chest, squeezing through the waist. Let's start off with our arms. So tricep press, we're going to bend the elbows, bring the circle over the head, and then lengthen the elbows, pressing up. Try to hold some tension, squeezing that circle. We're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3, 2. On our last one, can we hold that circle straight up towards the ceiling? Our little pulses here, just squeeze and release, warming up through the chest, still squeezing through the waist. 3, 4, 5, 6. On our last one, can we try and hold that pressure on the circle? We're going to come into an ab curl. So inhale, as we exhale, we're going to curl up. So you'll feel that lumbar spine touch onto the mat. We're curling up. Try to tap that circle on the knees, and then we're going to roll back down. We're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more. Try to keep that pressure on the circle if you can. Keep working through those arms and chest. 2 more. On our last one, can we curl up and can we hold and pulse here? Like you want to tap that circle as high as you can on those knees. 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost there. Last one. Final pulse. And release. Give those shoulders a roll. Beautiful. Can we bring that circle in between our knees? So you might want to bring your feet just a little bit wider. And we're going to relax those arms down by our side. Again, we have that neutral spine position. Let's come into our pelvic curl. So pelvic curl, we're rolling up through the spine and then rolling back down through the spine, nice and controlled. So deep inhale to my hair like is in the exact wrong spot for this. Deep inhale through the nose. As we exhale, let's tuck that pelvis under. We're lifting the hips and we're rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time to rest just in between those shoulder blades. Inhale at the top and then exhale, let's roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way back down to our neutral position, tailbone nice and heavy. Let's roll up and melt down. As we roll up, see if you can add a little squeeze on that circle between the knees, and you can release that tension as you release back down. 2, 3, pressing through the heels, squeezing through the glutes. 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to roll up and hold on this last one. Hips are lifted. Can we squeeze and release that circle, holding that pelvic curl position for 8, 7, 6, 5. Try to keep those hips lifted. They're going to want to drop down. 4 more. 3, 2. Can we hold that pressure on the circle on this last one? From here, we're going to drop the hips just 2 inches and then lift them back up, squeezing through the glutes. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost there. 2. On our last one, can we lift those hips up? Squeeze that circle, squeeze the glutes, and let's roll all the way down. Release the circle. You can take it out for a second, open through those knees. Little stretch here. All right, circle's gonna come back in between our knees. We're gonna bring our hands behind our head, elbows are nice and wide. We're relaxing our head into our hands. Our next set of ab curls. Deep inhale to prepare. As we exhale, we're curling up. Chest comes towards the thighs as we squeeze that circle and then release back down, release the knees. Let's go for 8. Nice and slow and controlled. 7. Making sure those elbows are wide and our head is heavy. 6, 5, 4 more. 3, we are almost there. On our last one, can we roll up and we're going to hold here. Try to keep a little bit of tension on that circle as we pulse the chest up and down an inch for 8. 7, focusing on squeezing that lower part of our core. 5, 4 more. 3, 2. Can we hold up on this last one and we're going to squeeze and release the circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, almost there. 3 more. Try to find those last 2 ones. It's a little bit further in, knees together, and release. Whew, well done. You can take that circle out. Open through those knees. A couple of pulses here to release through those inner thighs. Alrighty, let's come back to our pelvic curl. So feet are onto the mat. We're going to this time have the circle in between our palms, fingers up towards the ceiling. We're going to try and add a tricep press to our pelvic curl exercise. So exhale, tuck the pelvis under, we're going to roll the hips up and we're going to hold here. So let's hold our pelvic curl position. We're going to come into our tricep press. So circle comes over our head, we're squeezing the circle and lengthening up. We're here for 8. 7, keeping those hips lifted. 6, 5, 4 more. 3. On our last one, can we bend the elbows and hold the circle here? We've got that circle under tension. And we're going to pulse just up and back an inch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more. 3, almost there. Last one, can we extend those elbows up nice and long? If you can, keep the tension on the circle. If that's too much, you can just release it. We're going to open our knees out. So hips stay lifted. We're just rolling to the outside of our feet and then bring those knees back in line with our hips. We're here for 8. 7, try to keep those hips lifted so we're not dropping them as we open the knees. We're nice and lifted, just rolling to the outside of the feet. We have 4 more. 3, 2. A last one, let's bring those knees in line with the hips and we're going to drop the hips to tap the mat and then lift them back up, squeezing through the glutes. We're here for 8. 7, can we add a little squeeze on that circle as we lift the hips? 6, 5, 4 more. 3, 2, last one, lift the hips up. Let's take an inhale and then exhale. Let's roll down. 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way back down. You can release those arms. Give everything a bit of a shake. Whew, well done. Let's come into a stretch. So we're going to use the circle. We're going to bring our fingertips towards us, so underhand grip, and we're going to push our right ball of the foot into the top of the circle and just let that left leg lengthen out long. We're going to use our grip on the circle to pull that leg a little bit closer in towards our chest, and you'll find that stretch down the back of your leg. So you really try to release and exhale into this stretch. You can bend through the knee and then exhale into that straighten. Continuing here. Can we use our grip on the circle to pull that leg across our body? Now you're going to feel that stretch more down that IT band and through the glute. So nice stretch here. You can take it as far as you feel comfortable. Can we bring that circle to the outside? So really opening up through the hip. And bringing it back to the center. And release. Give the legs a shake. Let's swap to the other side. So left ball of the foot is in that circle now. Right leg is lengthened out long. And let's come into our stretch. Try to relax through the shoulders and just use that circle as a tool to pull that leg a little bit closer. Using that exhale to release any tension through the hips. And let's cross that leg over our body, stretching into the glute, into the IT band. This is a good one. And opening that leg out to the side, stretching through that inner thigh, opening through the hips. Bringing that leg back to the center, finishing off with a little final stretch here. And release. Beautiful. Let's roll onto our side. We're going to work into our inner thighs. So coming into a position, we're going to have our left leg lengthened out long. You can rest your head in your hand with your elbow on the mat, or if it's more comfortable, just lengthen that arm out long. And we're going to bring our right leg forward. So it's like the leg is in line with the hip, just roll it straight forward, should be quite comfortable. Now the circle is optional for this bit. It's going to add a little bit extra through our chest as we do our inner thighs, but if the coordination gets too much, don't worry about it a great deal. So circles just in front of our chest with our palm on top. We're squeezing through the waist and really try to actually feel like you're pushing that top hip away from you. Your waist is coming away from the mat and our hips are stacked. We are flexing that bottom leg. All right, we're going to lift, hair in my mouth, sorry. Try again. We're going to lift that bottom leg up towards the ceiling. So we're squeezing our inner thighs as much as we can, working through the inner thighs. And then we're going to release it back down. As we lift that leg up, can we add a squeeze of that circle and then release as we lower? We're here for 16. 15, squeezing through the waist. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. Exhale to press. 6. 5 more. Keep that tension through the waist. 3. On our last one, can we lift that leg up and hold it as high as we can? The circle is under tension. Can we hold the circle there as we pulse? Just that last little inch squeeze of those inner thighs for 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 6 more. Almost there. On our last one, final squeeze and release. Woo. Give those legs a nice shake. Woo. Alrighty, let's swing around to the other side. So straight to the other side. Just gonna move my mic over. That might mess it around. Let's see if that still works. Cool. And we will come to the other side, finding that set-up position. So left leg is just rolling forward. Again, press that top hip away from you. The waist is lifted, and we've got that circle in front of our chest. Palm is flat on top. Flexing that bottom leg. Exhale, let's lift, squeeze those inner thighs. Inhale, release. We're here for 16. 15. 13. 12. Keep that shoulder blade sliding down your spine, so we're not lifting that shoulder up. It's really relaxed. So we're working through the arm and the waist. We have 6 more. 5. 4 more. 3. On our last one, let's lift that leg up. The circle is under tension and we're pulsing that leg for 16, 15, 14, squeezing those inner thighs. 12, 11, squeezing through the waist. 9, 8, 6 more, 5, 4 more, 3, last one, final lift and release. Well done. Give those legs a shake. Whew. And we're going to roll onto our front. Let me just make sure I'm not going to squash my microphone. And lying down onto our front. Let's grab that circle and we're going to bring the circle, so the squishy parts of the circle are out to the side and we're just framing our bottom with the circle. Chin is tucked towards the chest and our forehead is down towards the mat. We're going to just hover that chest off the mat, but make sure we keep that eye gaze down towards the ground. We're not lifting our head up. Chin is lifted, breaking that line of the spine. So long line of the spine. We're just going to lift and lower the circle. So more of a stretch here. Lifting and lowering. Find that range through the shoulders. Let's go for 4 more. 3. On our last one, let's bring that circle down to hover just off our legs. We're going to try and squeeze and release the circle. Now you're going to barely budge the circle, but it's going to really squeeze through those triceps. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3. On our last one, can we try and hold that squeeze on the circle? I'm going to lift and lower it an inch for that squeeze through the triceps for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3, almost there. Can we hold it here in this last one? Now try to feel like you want to lift your chest up and press the circle towards the back. So little pulses to press back and lift for 8, 7. This one is so good for our posture. 6, 5, 4 more, 3, 2, last one, and release. Woo, my arms, give those arms a shake. You can grab that circle and press ourselves up. We are almost finished. We're going to come into a set of push-ups with the circle. So I'm going to catch my breath first. All right, so the circle's going to come just underneath our chest. And our hands are going to come to either side of the circle. Try to make sure you're nice and square and even. So the circle's going to give us a little bit of support. Our knees are a little bit back from our hips so we can have that long line of our body. Squeezing through the waist, lifting up out of the shoulder sockets. We're going to open the elbows, press our chest down towards the ground into that circle, and then bring ourselves all the way up. Let's go for 8. Nice and slow. So the circle is really good here to help us with our posture. 5. So it gives you a little bit more support. Squeezing through the squeezing through the waist. Let's go for 4 more, making sure those hips are still coming forward, not pressing them back. 3 more. On our last one, can we hold down in our halfway pose and we are pulsing up an inch and down an inch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3, 2, last one, and release. Whew. Let's take that circle out, come into a child's pose. So knees are out wide, bottom comes down towards those heels, arms are long out in front. And let's exhale into this pose. Can we walk our hands around to one side? So just find that nice stretch down the side of the arm, down the waist. And let's take it over to the other side. Nice stretch here. And coming back to the center, let's come up to a seated position and just finish off with a stretch. So one arm over the other. Let's cross it over the body. Exhale into this stretch. And let's take it to the other side. And our triceps, so bring that arm over the head. Palm is down the middle of our spine. And swap it to the other side. And release, moving into our glute stretch. So one leg lengthened out long. We're going to cross that opposite ankle over that knee, lengthen through the spine, try to push that knee down towards the mat. As we fold ourselves forward, try to keep that chest open. And then when you can't fold forward anymore, see if you can make that head heavy, exhaling into this stretch. Two more breaths here. See if you can push that knee a little bit deeper in towards the mat. Final breath. And release. Let's swap to the other side, crossing that knee over. Press the knee away from you, lengthen through the spine and fold forward. Exhaling into this stretch, releasing any tension through the hips. One more breath. And release. Well done, guys. We are all done. That was our class with the circle. As always, please like or comment if you have anything you want to see in the next video. Tell me what you liked or didn't like. And don't forget to subscribe. I will see you for the next class.